when the world grows heavy and your thoughts begin to swirl, come rest with me for a moment. Soften your shoulders, let your breath ease, and gently set your worries aside. Allow yourself to settle, to feel the stillness that is always waiting. This is not a race, but a return to presence, a quiet step toward peace. Tonight, we will wander through ancient Buddhist stories and Zen parables, passed down through temple halls and whispered in forest silences. These teachings do not promise to erase fear or anxiety. Instead, they invite you to see it, to sit with it, to see it clearly. Through mindfulness, compassion, and the truth of impermanence. These tales guide us to rest beyond the storm. Welcome, dear one, to Zen Buddhism, a sanctuary where teachings are not just words, but a way of being. Here, anxiety is not an enemy, but a call to wakefulness. Through stories of the Buddha's own encounters with suffering, we learn to turn toward pain with courage, not resistance. These parables of impermanence and compassion show us how to live lightly, even in the weight of the world. If these words stir something in your heart, please subscribe and walk with us. There are many gentle steps ahead, each one a chance to find peace. Chapter 1. What is anxiety in the light of the Dharma? It is a quiet ache, a tremor beneath the surface, often unnamed, yet ever present. Let us explore it together with kindness and clarity. Part 1. Understanding anxiety as suffering. In the heart of Buddhist teachings, anxiety is not a flaw or a mistake. It is dukkha, the suffering woven into the fabric of life. The Four Noble Truths name this truth clearly. Dukkha is the unease that arises when we grasp at what cannot be held. It is the ache of wanting life to be certain, fixed, unchanging. Yet, the Buddha taught that all things are impermanent. Anxiety, in its restlessness, is a reminder of this truth. It is not separate from us, but a call to see clearly, to awaken to the present moment. When we feel that tightness, that quickening of breath, we are touching the edge of dukkha, an invitation to understand its roots. The second noble truth points to tanha, the craving that fuels this unrest. We thirst for certainty, for safety, for things to remain as they are. This craving, paired with moha, the delusion of permanence, pierces us like an arrow. The Buddha spoke of two arrows. The first is the pain of life's inevitable changes. The second is the suffering we add by resisting them. Anxiety often comes from this second arrow. We cling to what we cannot control, believing it will last. When we see this clearly, we begin to loosen our grip, The ache of anxiety softens when we stop fighting the truth of change. The Satipatthana Sutta offers a gentle path forward. Mindfulness, or sati, is the practice of observing our experience without judgment. The Buddha taught the four foundations: body, feelings, mind, and phenomena. When anxiety arises, we can notice the racing heart, the tense shoulders, the swirling thoughts. We do not push them away. We do not cling to them. We simply watch with kindness as they move through us. This is the beginning of freedom, a way to meet anxiety with spacious awareness. Anxiety then becomes a teacher, not an enemy. It shows us where we are attached, where we resist life's flow. When that familiar tightness rises, pause. Instead of asking how to escape it, ask what it reveals. What are you holding on to? What does it want you to see? This shift, subtle yet profound, turns suffering into a doorway to presence, a call to return to now. Part 2: Practical Guidance and Transition. Anxiety, like all things, is impermanent. Anicca. It arises like a cloud, heavy and dark, but it passes. We forget this in the grip of fear, believing it will last forever. Yet, the Buddha reminds us, all conditioned things are fleeting. Sankhara and Anicca. When we watch anxiety closely, we see it shift, soften, dissolve. This is not a promise of a life without fear, but an invitation to trust the flow of change. Like clouds moving across a vast sky, anxiety comes and goes. You are the sky, not the cloud. The Noble Eightfold Path offers a steady guide. Right view sees anxiety as part of life's impermanence, not a personal failing. Right intention invites kindness toward ourselves. Right mindfulness anchors us in the moment, where fear loses its grip. This path does not demand control, but understanding. It asks us to meet life as it is, with wisdom and compassion, step by gentle step. You are listening to a teaching from the Zen Buddhism series. I invite you now to pause. Soften the edges of your day. Let your breath settle. Your body rest. Feel the ground beneath you, the air around you. This moment is enough. You are enough. There is nowhere else to be. If these words have touched your heart, please support this journey by subscribing. Stay with us as we walk this path together. Let us now move into our first story, a quiet tale of awakening, ready to unfold. Chapter 2. The fear of losing the cup that was already broken. Part 1. The story of the broken cup. He arrived at the monastery as the sun dipped low. Clutching a small bundle wrapped in soft cloth. Inside was a porcelain cup, delicate and smooth, a gift from his late mother. It was his treasure, carried everywhere, polished daily. The young man bowed before the Zen master, his voice trembling. "Master," he said, "I fear losing this cup. It holds my heart. I cannot sleep for worry." The master's eyes, gentle and steady, met his. He invited the young man to sit, to share tea. The cup rested between them, glowing faintly in the fading light. The master leaned forward, his hands folded like quiet hills. "Why do you fear its loss?" he asked. The young man spoke of memories, of his mother's smile, of the cup's fragile beauty. The master listened, nodding slowly. Then, with a smile that held the wisdom of many seasons, he said, "This cup is already broken." The young man blinked, startled, "But it is whole," he protested. The master shook his head. "Every cup is already broken, because all things pass. To see this is to be free to love it now." As dusk deepened, the young man sat in silence across from the master. The words echoed in his mind. Already broken. He looked at the cup, its delicate curve catching the lantern's glow. Something shifted within him. The fear that had gripped his chest began to loosen. He saw the cup not as something to cling to, but as a fleeting gift. In that silence, he felt a stillness he had not known in months. The stillness of being with what is. The cup had not shattered, yet the fear had softened. The young man held the cup gently, with reverence, not possession. He saw its beauty more clearly now, not because it would last, but because it would not. To love something, he realized, is not to trap it in permanence. It is to meet it fully, tenderly, knowing it cannot stay. As he left the monastery, the stars above were bright. He walked lighter, the bundle still in his hands, but his heart no longer bound to it. Part 2. The teaching of impermanence. There is a quiet truth woven through every teaching of the Buddha. All things change. All things pass. All things break. This is anicca, the heart of impermanence. It is not a sad truth, but a liberating one. When we resist change, we suffer. When we embrace it, we find freedom. The cup in the story was not broken in form, but in truth, it was already passing. To see this is to release the weight of clinging. It is to live lightly, with open hands. The young man's fear did not come from the cup itself. It came from his attachment to its continued existence. This is where anxiety takes root. in the desire to hold what cannot be held. The Buddha did not teach us to stop loving. He taught us to love without clinging, to love a cup, a person, a moment, is to see its beauty fully, knowing it will fade. This is not loss, but life's rhythm. When we cling, we turn love into suffering. When we let go, we find peace. In the Satipatthana Sutta, the Buddha invites us to watch all things as they arise, endure, and pass away. Sit with your breath and notice its flow. Feel your thoughts, your fears, your joys, moving like waves. No feeling, no thought, no state of mind lasts forever. When anxiety arises, observe it. See its tightening, its trembling. Do not fight it. Do not cling to it. Simply watch. In this watching, you discover that even anxiety is impermanent, a guest that comes and goes. When we understand that nothing lasts, we treasure what is here. Think of someone you love, a moment you cherish, a simple cup in your hand. Knowing it will pass does not diminish its beauty. It deepens it. Letting go does not mean pushing away. It means seeing clearly, softening your grip. Pause now. Feel your breath. Notice the world around you. This moment is fleeting, yet it is enough. Hold it gently and let it pass. Chapter 3. The Fear That Was Never Real. The Empty Boat. Part 1. The Story of the Empty Boat. There was once a man who sought solace by rowing his small wooden boat along the quiet bends of a wide river. The gentle lapping of water, the soft call of birds, the stillness of dawn. These were his refuge from a noisy world. One morning, as the sun began to lift the fog, he set out again. The air was cool, the river calm. He closed his eyes, letting the rhythm of his oars carry him. For a moment, the world felt kind, and his heart was at ease. Then, a sudden jolt shook his boat. Another boat had collided with his. The peace shattered. Warmth in his chest turned to heat. Who would be so careless? He thought. His jaw tightened. His hands gripped the oar. He stood, anger swelling, ready to shout at the stranger who had ruined his morning. He turned to face the other boat, his voice rising. But then he stopped. The words caught in his throat. There was no one there. The boat was empty, drifting aimlessly on the current. No careless rower, no malicious intent. Just a boat, carried by the river's flow. Slowly, his breath deepened, his fists unclenched. The fury that had felt so justified now seemed strange, hollow. He sat back down, river's quiet returning, the empty boat drifted on, and his anger drifted with it, dissolving into the morning mist. How often, he wondered, had he reacted like this in life? How many times had he assumed harm, blamed others, let anger rise without looking closely? The empty boat taught him something simple yet profound. Not all collisions are intentional. Many boats are empty. If we do not pause to see clearly, we might spend our lives angry at things that were never aimed at us. Part 2. Understanding the roots of fear and blame. There is something deeply human about personalizing our pain. When we feel hurt, dismissed, or wronged, we often seek someone to blame. It is a reflex, born from our need for safety, for understanding. If there is a cause, a person behind the hurt, we believe we can protect ourselves. But as the story of the empty boat shows, many things that bump against us are not driven by malice. They are simply events, drifting like empty boats on the river of life. To assume intent is to create suffering where there might be none. The Buddha taught that all phenomena are marked by anatta, not self. The events of life, the words, the actions, the collisions are not always about us. A harsh word, a missed opportunity, a sudden loss. These are often just the movements of nature, unfolding without judgment or agenda. When we take them personally, we weave a story of blame. We become the man in the boat, shouting at an empty vessel. Anatta invites us to see beyond the self, to recognize that much of what we fear is not aimed at us at all. When fear or anger arises, the Buddha's path offers inquiry. Pause and ask, did that person mean to hurt me? Or were they caught in their own struggles? Is this situation truly about me? Or is it simply unfolding? This questioning is not denial, but clarity. It softens the heart, opens the mind. The more we investigate, the more we see that many wounds come not from reality, but from our reactions. Compassion grows in this space, for ourselves and others. This shift from who did this to me to what is happening here is the heart of the path. It turns anxiety into curiosity. It transforms fear into presence. When we stop personalizing every collision, we find freedom. The empty boat is not just a story. It is an invitation to pause, to look, to let go of the stories we tell ourselves. Next time you feel the sting of blame, pause. Is the boat empty? And if it is, can you let it drift by? Chapter 4. The moment between fear and life. The man hanging from the vine. Part 1. The story of the man on the cliff. Once, long ago, there lived a traveler who wandered far and wide. seeking peace. His heart was heavy with the weight of the world, yet he hoped the open road would lighten it. One afternoon, as he followed a winding path through a dense forest, a deep growl pierced the stillness. From the edge of the trees, a tiger leapt into view. Its eyes gleamed, its teeth bared. The traveler's heart raced. Fear surged through him. He turned and ran, the tiger's paws thundering behind. The forest opened to a cliff's edge. The ground fell away, a sheer drop to jagged rocks below. The traveler's feet skidded to a stop. The tiger was closing in, its breath hot and near. Desperate, he glanced down and saw a thick vine clinging to the cliff's face. With no time to think, he grabbed it, swinging his body over the edge. His hands burned as he clung to the vine, dangling between life and death. Then, another sound reached his ears. A low, patient hiss below. Pacing at the cliff's base was another tiger, waiting. As he hung there, caught between two dangers, his eyes caught a glint of red. Just beside the vine, growing impossibly from a crack in the rock, was a single wild strawberry. It was small, perfect, glowing in the sunlight. Without thinking, he reached out, plucked it, and brought it to his lips. He bit. The sweetness burst across his tongue. In that instant, the tigers, the cliff, the fear, they disappeared. There was only the strawberry, vivid and real. The traveler did not escape the tigers. The vine did not save him. Yet, in that fleeting moment, he found something deeper than survival. He remembered how to be here, fully here. The strawberry was not a distraction from fear, but a doorway to life. Sometimes, that is the only awakening we need. Just a single strawberries. Seen, touched, tasted. Part 2. The present moment is enough. What made the strawberry so sweet? It was not only its taste, though that was vivid. It was the traveler's presence, his complete attention to that single moment, caught between two tigers, with no past to cling to and no future to grasp. He found life in the now. It was there, unexpected, real. This is the heart of Zen. When fear pulls us toward what was or what might be, the present moment calls us back. The strawberry is not an escape from danger. It is a reminder that life is here, even in the midst of fear. The Buddha's teachings guide us to this truth. Mindfulness, sati, is the practice of dwelling fully in the present. We are so often lost in the past, regretting what was, or in the future, fearing what might come. Yet, The Buddha taught that clinging to either is the root of suffering. Non-attachment does not mean indifference. It means meeting life as it unfolds, without grasping. The traveler did not deny the tigers. He simply chose to taste the strawberry. In that choice, he found a refuge, not from danger, but within it. Imagine holding your favorite cup, knowing it is already broken, as the Zen master taught. Wouldn't your appreciation deepen? When anxiety arises, try this. Notice the small things. Feel the warmth of your tea, the texture of your breath, the sound of a bird outside. These are your strawberry, small and fleeting, yet enough. Savor them not to escape fear, but to remember that life is now. Each moment, when met fully, holds its own sweetness, its own peace. To receive the heart of these teachings, pause now. Take a slow breath. Let your awareness settle, not on the past, not on the future, but on this very moment. Feel your body here. Notice the air, the sounds, the stillness. This is your strawberry. This is enough. Let it be. Chapter 5. The boy afraid of ghosts, facing imagined fears. Part 1. The story of the boy and the wind. The boy had come to the temple seeking peace, but when the sun set and the shadows grew long, fear found him. As a young novice, he loved the quiet days of sweeping floors and chanting sutras. Yet, at night, the world changed. The wind through the trees sounded like whispers of ghosts. The creak of old wood became footsteps in the dark. His heart would race. His palms grow damp. He lay awake, imagining spirits lurking just beyond the lantern's glow. Each sound tightened the knot in his chest, pulling him further from sleep. One night, unable to bear it, he slipped from his mat and tiptoed to the master's room. "Master," he whispered, his voice trembling. "The ghosts are here. I hear them in the wind, in the creaks of the floor." The master sat up, his face calm in the dim light. He did not laugh or scold. Instead, he smiled gently. "Come, sit," he said. "Tell me about these ghosts." The boy poured out his fears, his words tumbling like leaves in a storm. The master listened, nodding slowly. The master reached for a small, smooth stone from the windowsill. "Hold this stone in your hand," he said. "Feel its weight, its coolness. When you hear the wind, feel the stone. When you hear the creak, feel the stone. Do not chase the sounds or name them ghosts. Just feel this." The boy clutched the stone, its solid presence grounding him. He returned to his mat, As the wind whispered, he felt the stone's edges. His breath slowed. His shoulders relaxed. The next morning, the boy had changed. He still heard the sounds, the wind, the creaks. But now he also heard something else, the silence between them. The ghosts had not vanished, but they had lost their power. By feeling the stone, he had learned to witness his fear without adding stories. The master smiled as the boy bowed. "You have met your ghosts," he said. "They were only wind. Now you know how to be with what is." Part 2. Meditating with the mind. In the Buddhist tradition, the mind is often compared to a vast, open sky. Thoughts, emotions, and fears are clouds, drifting through, sometimes light, sometimes heavy. This image, found in the Satipatthana Sutta, is not merely poetic. It is an invitation to shift how we relate to our thoughts. When fear arises, like the boy's ghosts, we often believe it defines us. We become the fear, or we fight it. But the Buddha taught us to see the mind as spacious, unchanging. The clouds of thought pass through, but the sky remains. The Satipatthana Sutta guides us to observe the mind states without entanglement. When the mind is anxious, know it as anxious. When it is calm, know it as calm. This noticing is transformative. Our instinct is to suppress anxious thoughts or believe them completely. Yet, the Buddha's way is simpler. See thus the thought as a thought, not as truth. When the boy heard the wind, he named it ghosts. When he felt the stone, he saw the wind as wind. This is mindfulness, the act of witnessing without clinging. Thoughts, like all things, are impermanent. Sankharas. They arise from causes and pass away. The fear of ghosts felt real to the boy, but it was a story, a formation of the mind. The moment we observe an anxious thought as a thought, not as reality, we are already free. It is like watching a cloud drift across the sky. It moves. It changes. It dissolves. We do not need to chase it or push it away. We simply let it be, knowing it will pass. A great Zen teacher once said, "Thoughts are visitors. Let them come and go, but don't serve them tea. Sit now. For a moment, feel your breath. Like the boy felt the stone, notice a thought, perhaps a worry, a fear. Do not name it ghost or truth. Just see it. A cloud in your vast sky. Let it drift. This is how we begin to live as the sky. Spacious, untouched, free. Chapter 6. Living with the Sky. Every day. Reflections on Restlessness. Part 1. Recognizing the monkey mind. There are days when our thoughts rush in before the morning light. The mind leaps from one worry to another, planning, replaying, imagining what might go wrong. Did I forget something? Will tomorrow be okay? This restlessness feels urgent, as if the busyness of the mind is productivity. In our modern world, this is normal. We wake to notifications, schedules, demands. The mind swings like a monkey from branch to branch, rarely still. Yet, in Zen, this is not a flaw. It is simply the monkey mind, doing what it knows. The first step is to see it, to notice its chatter without judgment. To live with the sky, mind, does not mean we never feel anxious. It means we learn to see anxiety as a cloud, passing through the vastness of our awareness. The thought, "I am not enough," arises, but it is just a thought, not a verdict. The Buddha taught that thoughts are impermanent, like ripples on water. When we watch them, we stop being carried away. We start to rest in the sky of our mind, spacious and untouched. This awareness is the beginning of peace. It is not about stopping the monkey mind, but about watching it swing without chasing after it. We practice by asking gentle questions. What is here right now? Is this thought true? Does it need my attention? These questions are not to argue with the mind, but to bring us back to the present. When we pause, we notice the body, the breath, the sounds around us. The present is almost always quieter than the imagination. A racing thought feels heavy, but the moment itself is light. This is the sky mind, always waiting, always clear. Mindfulness does not require a temple or silence. It lives in small acts. Washing your hands. Feel the coolness of the water. Walking down the hall. Notice each step. Eating a bite of food. Taste its warmth. These are the practices of those learning to be here. The monkey mind will swing, but you are not the branches. You are the sky. Each small act of presence anchors you. Each moment of noticing brings you home. Part 2. Compassion and breath as anchor. When the mind resists stillness, compassion is essential. The monkey mind is not an enemy to defeat. It is a part of us, restless but seeking safety. When thoughts spiral, we do not need to fight them. We can offer kindness instead. The Buddha taught us to meet suffering with metta, loving kindness. Notice the thought, but also notice the one who suffers. Smile gently at your own restless heart. Like a parent soothing a child, we can say, "It's okay. You are enough." The breath is a steady guide. rising and falling. Always here. In relationships, the sky mind becomes a balm. When words sting or misunderstandings arise, the monkey mind leaps to blame or defense. Pause. Feel the breath. Ask, is this about me? Or is it just a moment passing? This pause creates space for compassion, for listening. At night, when thoughts grow loud, the sky mind helps again. Place a hand on your heart. Feel its rhythm. You do not need to solve every worry to sleep. You need only rest in the sky that holds them all. Over time, these practices reshape the inner world. Each moment of noticing, each breath, builds a quiet strength. The monkey mind still swings, but it no longer rules. The sky mind grows wider, clearer. You begin to see thoughts as clouds, not as truth. In this calm, there is clarity. There is courage to meet life as it is. This is not a destination, but a way of being. Moment by moment, breath by breath. To receive these teachings, pause now. Let your shoulders soften. Take a slow breath. Feel the air, the quiet, the space within you. This moment is enough. If this offering brings you peace, we invite you to support this journey by subscribing. Stay with us as we walk this path together, resting in the vast sky of the mind. Chapter 7. Placeholder. Embracing the flow of mindfulness. Once, a woman wandered through a bustling village, her heart heavy with restless thoughts. Each step felt hurried. As if she could outrun her worries, she met a monk by a stream, his face calm as he watched the water flow. "Why do you sit so still?" she asked. "My mind races, and I cannot rest." The monk pointed to the stream. "See how it moves, yet does not cling to any stone. Be like the water," he said. "Notice your thoughts, but do not hold them." She sat, watching the stream, and slowly, her heart softened. The Buddha taught that mindfulness is the path to freedom. In the Satipatthana Sutta, he guides us to observe the body, feelings, mind, and phenomena. Mediator's eyes softened. The mirror, though broken, still reflected clearly. He saw his own heart, not as flawed, but as whole in its own way. He returned home and placed the shards by the window, where they caught the sunlight. Each piece scattered light, small rainbows dancing on the walls. In every reflection, he found not failure, but life still beautiful, still enough. Part 2. A teaching on self-compassion. In the great arc of the Buddha's teachings, compassion is not reserved only for others. it must begin within. We often judge ourselves harshly, believing we are not enough, that our flaws define us. Yet, Buddhism never demands perfection. It gently dismantles the illusion that such a thing exists. The broken mirror still reflects, just as our imperfect hearts still hold love, courage, and presence. Self-compassion is the practice of meeting ourselves with kindness, seeing our struggles not as failures, but as part of the human journey. This is where healing begins, in the gentle act, the turning toward our own hearts. The Buddha himself, before awakening, faced doubt, fear, and temptation. He did not suppress them or judge himself unworthy. He sat with them, observing them with mindfulness. In the Satipatthana Sutta, there is no call to judge our imperfections. Instead, we are invited to notice them with spacious awareness, body, feelings, mind, and phenomena. When we feel broken, we can pause and ask, what is here now? The pain is real, but it is not all of us. Beneath it lies an unbroken awareness, vast as the sky, holding all things with tenderness. This is metta, loving kindness, the practice of offering warmth to ourselves. In Mahayana Buddhism, the Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara embodies this great compassion, hearing the cries of the world and responding with presence. When we feel unworthy, we can whisper to ourselves, "May I be kind to myself. May I be at peace." This is not indulgence, but truth. Our awareness is never broken. It is the mirror that reflects, even in pieces. Sit now, feel your breath, and listen to your heart. Abdur. Self-compassion is not weakness. It is radical strength to remain open to our own hearts. Each moment we choose kindness over judgment, we transform. The broken mirror reflects not in spite of its cracks, but through them. This is the path, seeing our imperfections clearly, yet resting in the wholeness beneath. Pause now. Place a hand on your heart. Feel its quiet rhythm. You are enough. If this teaching resonates, please subscribe. Join us as we walk this gentle path together, reflecting light through every crack. Chapter 9. The river does not flow back, letting go of regret. Part 1. The story of the man rowing upstream. There once lived a man in a quiet riverside village, where the water sang softly against the banks. Each dawn, while the world was still cloaked in mist, he would untie his small wooden boat and push it into the river. He rowed upstream against the current, his shoulders straining, his breath heavy. Years ago, he had lost something precious, a moment, a person, a dream up the river. He believed If he rowed hard enough, he thought, he could return to it. Each stroke was a wish to undo the past, to reclaim what was gone. Yet, the river never changed its course. One morning, a monk passing through the village paused by the shore. He watched the man row, his boat trembling against the current. "Why do you fight the river?" the monk asked gently. The man paused, sweat on his brow, and spoke of his loss, his need to go back. The monk nodded slowly. "You see this river," he said. "It only flows one way. You can row as hard as you like, but it will never carry you to the past." The man's hand stilled on the oars. The monk's words settled like stones in his heart. That evening, the man did not row. He sat quietly by the shore, watching the water move. The ripples carried his regrets, his longing. Downstream, he felt the weight of years spent fighting the current. His chest softened. The next morning, he stepped into his boat, but he did not row upstream. He let it drift, carried by the river's flow. The water was gentle. The world wide. He saw the trees, the sky, the moment, and they were enough. On his face bloomed the faintest trace of peace, like sunlight on moving water. He had not reclaimed the past, but he had released it. The boat still floated, but it moved with the river now, not against it. The man's heart, once heavy with regret, began to drift lightly too. To let go was not to forget, but to live. The river carried him forward, and for the first time, he was ready to go. Part 2. Letting go. Letting flow. The river does not flow back. This is not a cold truth, but a freeing one. Regret binds us to the past. A second suffering we add to what is already gone. The Buddha spoke of this in the Four Noble Truths. Suffering arises from craving, from clinging to what cannot be held. When we resist the past's impermanence, we row against the river, exhausting ourselves. If we truly saw that the past cannot be relived, we would stop living there. This is the gift of anicca, impermanence. It invites us to rest in what is, not in what was. The Buddha taught this wisdom through anatta, not self. The stories we tell about our past mistakes, losses, what we should have done are not who we are. They are fleeting thoughts, like ripples on the river. To grasp at them is to close your hand around smoke. When we see the self as a story, not a fixed truth, we loosen our grip. The man in the boat clung to a moment he thought defined him. When he let go, he found he was more than his regret. He was the awareness, watching the river flow. Letting go does not mean forgetting. It means no longer holding your breath inside a memory. In mindfulness, we observe regrets as they arise, like clouds in the sky. Mind. Notice the thought. Feel its ache, but do not make it your home. The Satipatthana Sutta teaches us to watch feelings and thoughts without clinging. You acknowledge what was all, then bow to what is. This is healing. Sit now. Feel your breath and ask, what am I holding on to? Let the river carry it. Let it flow. To see clearly is to suffer less. To accept change is to find peace. This is self-mercy, the courage to stop rowing upstream. Nothing we love can stay, but in loving with full awareness, we discover what endures. Presence, compassion, wisdom. Pause now. Feel the air, the quiet, your own heart. This moment is enough. If this teaching touches you, please subscribe. Join us as we drift with the river, gently, together, into the peace of now. Deep in the mountains, a hermit carved out a solitary life in a quiet cave. Each evening, as the sun sank below the peaks, a shadow flickered across the stone wall. It swayed, formless, elusive, like a whisper in the dark. His heart pounded, certain it was a restless spirit haunting his refuge. Sleep slipped away, replaced by a gnawing fear. He lit incense, murmured chants, but the shadow returned, silent, unmoved. What was this presence? Was it a ghost? A curse? His mind wove tales of dread, each one tightening the knot in his chest. The cave, once a sanctuary, felt like a trap. One dawn, the weight of fear grew too heavy. He set out to find a monk renowned for wisdom. His steps hurried through misty trails. By a quiet stream, he found the monk, serene as the water's flow. "Master," he whispered, voice trembling, "a spirit haunts my cave. Its shadow dances each night. I cannot rest. How can I find peace?" The monk listened, his gaze steady, kind. He asked about the shadow, its movements, its silence. The hermit poured out his fear, his sleepless nights. The monk nodded, saying softly, "Go back tonight. Watch the shadow closely. It may not be what you fear." The monk smiled gently. "Return tonight and hold your lantern high," he said. The hermit, though hesitant, clung to the monk's calm words. That evening, he entered the cave, lantern shaking in his grip. The shadow loomed, vast and shifting. He raised the light. As told, the shadow moved, and he saw it was his own silhouette, cast by the lantern's glow. No spirit, no phantom, just his own form, born of the light he carried. The truth settled over him. Simple. Clear. The shadow was not other. It was his, woven from his own presence. Fear began to unravel. A soft laugh broke from the hermit's lips. The cave, once a place of dread, became a mirror of his heart. The shadow was no enemy, but a companion, dancing as he moved. He saw it now with curiosity, not fear. The unknown was not to be fought, but embraced. A part of him, ever shifting. That night, he lay down, the cave quiet, his heart light. The shadow remained, but it no longer haunted. In meeting the unknown with openness, he found rest. The cave became a space of calm, where fear dissolved into wonder. Anxiety rises from the unknown, the shadow of what lies ahead. We fear what we cannot see, cannot hold. The Buddha taught that craving certainty, Tanya, binds us to suffering. This is the second noble truth. Wanting to know the future, to control it, pulls us from now. Like the hermit, we see shadows and imagine dangers, losses, failures, unknowns. We spin stories, and they tighten around us. Yet the present is where we live. This breath, this moment, is free of the future's weight. Here, we can meet life as it unfolds, unbound. The hermit feared the shadow because he thought it separate, fixed, a threat beyond him. Yet it was his own, cast by his light. So too, our anxieties seem real because we see them as permanent. Other P. The Buddha taught anicca, impermanence. All things change. Thoughts, fears, futures, they pass like ripples on water. Clinging to control is like grasping at wind. It fuels fear, not peace. When we see our anxieties as fleeting, as part of the mind's dance, we loosen their hold. They are not us. They arise, they pass, and we remain. The Satipatthana Sutta offers mindfulness as a path to face the unknown. When fear comes, do not run. Do not weave a story. Notice it. A racing heart, a tight throat, a thought flickering through. Name it gently. Fear, worry, doubt. Let it be, without chasing or pushing away. Like the hermit with his lantern, hold your awareness high. See the fear as it is, not as a truth to solve. In this seeing, the unknown softens. It becomes a sensation, a moment, passing through the vastness of your mind. Here, you are free. Pause now. Dear one, feel your breath. This moment, untouched by shadows. Let your shoulders soften, your heart ease. The unknown is not your foe, but a dance, ever changing, like the hermit's shadow. You need not control it. Just be here, awake, alive. If these words bring calm, subscribe to Zen Buddhism. Join us to walk this path of peace, moment by moment. You are not alone. This is Zen Buddhism, and you are welcome here. A farmer lived by a winding stream, his fields his pride. Each dawn, he tended his crops with care, coaxing life from the soil. Yet worry gnawed at him. Each night, he lay awake, imagining drought drying his fields, floods drowning his harvest, or blight stealing his yield. His heart tightened with fear. He checked the sky, counted clouds, measured the stream's flow. What if the rains failed? What if the crops withered? His mind spun, restless, unable to rest. The fields, once a joy, became a burden. The future loomed like a storm he could not outrun. Sleep fled, replaced by endless unease. One morning, weary from sleepless nights, he met an old woman by the stream. Her face was calm, her eyes bright as the water's surface. She sat quietly, watching the current. "Why do you frown, farmer?" she asked. He spoke of his fears: drought, flood, ruin. She listened, nodding softly. Then she pointed to a leaf drifting on the water. "See how it moves. It does not fight the current, yet it arrives." The farmer watched, puzzled. The leaf floated, turning gently, carried by the stream's unseen path. "What does it teach?" he asked. The old woman smiled. "Trust," she said. The farmer sat by the stream, watching the leaf glide effortlessly. It twisted, dipped, but never sank. "The leaf does not plan its path," the old woman said. "It trusts the stream. Can you trust life?" Her words sank into him. The stream carried the leaf through rocks, around bends, without resistance. The farmer saw his own struggle, his need to control the rains, the crops, the future. What if he let go? What if life, like the stream, knew its way? The question lingered, soft but heavy. He sat longer, the stream's murmur easing his heart. That night, the farmer lay down without checking the sky. He thought of the leaf, its quiet journey. He breathed deeply, letting worry slip like water through his fingers. The fields would grow or they would not. The stream would flow as it always had. For the first time, his sleep was deep, carried like a leaf on the stream of trust. The weight of control lifted. The future, once a shadow, became a mystery he could meet. His heart, once tight, softened. The fields were still his pride, but now they were also his peace. Anxiety often comes from resisting life's flow, from wanting to steer the stream. We fear what we cannot predict, cannot hold. The Buddha taught that suffering arises when we cling to outcomes we cannot control. This is the truth of dukkha. Like the farmer, we lie awake, imagining disasters, trying to shape tomorrow. Yet life moves like a stream, ever changing. Beyond our grasp, the Dharma asks us to see this resistance, this craving for certainty. When we fight the current, we tire. When we trust, we float. The present moment is our resting place. Surrender is not giving up. It is aligning with anicca. Impermanence. The farmer's crops, like all things, arise and pass, clinging to their success. Fearing their failure only breeds suffering. The leaf on the stream does not choose its path, yet it arrives. So too, we can move with life, trusting that each moment carries us where we need to be. This is strength, not weakness. It is the courage to release control, to let the stream guide us. Anicca teaches that nothing is fixed. In this truth, we find freedom, a lightness that lets us breathe. In mindfulness, we practice trust. We notice the urge to control without acting on it. When worry comes, pause. Feel it a thought, a tightness, a passing wave. Do not build a story around it. Try this. When anxiety rises, ask, can I let this moment be as it is? Watch the thought drift, like a leaf on water. The Buddha's path of mindfulness, rooted in the Satipatthana Sutta, invites us to see clearly. Each breath anchors us here. Now, trust grows in this seeing, in this gentle return to the present. Breathe now, softly, like a leaf on the stream. Feel your body settle, your mind ease. This moment is enough. You do not need to steer the current. Life carries you, as it always has. If this teaching brings peace, subscribe to Zen Buddhism. Join us to learn the art of trusting life's gentle current. Moment by moment, you are not alone. This is Zen Buddhism, and you are welcome here. A young monk heard tales of a bell that rang without a striker. Its mystery called to him, a promise of wisdom hidden in its sound. Determined to uncover its secret, he climbed to an ancient temple, his mind buzzing with anticipation. The bell stood silent, massive, its bronze surface catching the fading light. He struck it, waited, listened. No sound came. Night after night, he returned, tapping, pleading. But the bell remained mute. His heart grew restless. Was the tale a myth? Why would the bell not sing? Doubt crept in, heavy, like a fog over the temple's quiet stones. One evening, he met an elder by the temple gate, her eyes calm as moonlight. "Why do you chase the bell's sound?" she asked. The monk spoke of his quest, his frustration. The elder smiled. "The bell rings when you stop seeking its sound," she said. "Sit. Listen not to the bell, but to the silence within you." Perplexed, the monk obeyed. He sat, breath slowing, thoughts drifting. The temple grew quiet. The world grew quiet. He let go of his need for the bell's voice. The silence deepened, vast, alive. The monk sat through the night, his breath a gentle rhythm. In the stillness, he heard it a faint hum, not from the bell, but from his own heart, steady and clear. It was no external sound, but an inner resonance, alive in the quiet. The bell had not rung, yet its silence spoke. He understood now. The secret was not in the bell, but in the listening, in the stillness he carried within. The search had ended where it began, in his own presence. The temple, the bell, the night all were one with his calm. The monk rose, bowing to the elder. The bell had not rung, yet its silence sang within him, a stillness he could carry anywhere. He walked down the mountain, lighter, unburdened. The temple was no longer a place to seek, but a reminder of what he already held. The bell's silence was his own, a peace that needed no sound, no proof. Each step felt like a return home. The world hummed softly around him, and his heart answered, steady, quiet, whole. Anxiety is like a bell. We keep striking with thoughts, hoping for answers that never come. We seek peace in external things, solutions, certainties, control. The Buddha taught that peace is not found by silencing the world, but by quieting the mind. Anxiety grows from mental noise, from chasing what lies outside this moment. The monk sought the bell's sound, but found it in his stillness. So too, our restlessness fades when we stop seeking outward. The Dharma points inward, to the silence beneath our thoughts, where peace already waits. In the Satipatthana Sutta, the Buddha guides us to rest in awareness. Stillness is not the absence of thought, but the space that holds it without clinging. Like the monk, we can listen to our own silence. Thoughts arise, pass, like breezes through a temple. They need not disturb us. When we notice them without grasping, we find presence. This is mindfulness, seeing the mind's movement without being swept away. The bell of anxiety may hum, but in stillness, we hear the quiet that holds it all. When anxiety hums, return to your breath. Feel the air enter. Leave, soft as a whisper. Notice the pause between inhale and exhale. That is where stillness lives, always waiting for you. No need to force thoughts away. Simply watch them. Let them drift. Each breath is a return to now, a step into silence. This practice, small and steady, builds a refuge within. Like the monk, you carry this stillness everywhere. It is not far, not hidden. It is here, in this breath, this moment, this quiet heart. Pause now. Listen to the silence beneath your thoughts. Feel your breath. Soft, steady. You are not your worries. You are the space that holds them. Vast and calm. If this stillness comforts you, subscribe to Zen Buddhism. Join us for more moments of peace, where we learn to listen to the silence within. You are welcome here. A sparrow wove a nest high in an oak, twig by twig, her small heart proud. Each strand was placed with care, a perfect home for her young. She sang as she worked, her chirps bright against the leaves. But one night, a storm tore through, fierce and unrelenting. By dawn, the nest lay scattered on the ground, twigs broken, her labor lost. The sparrow perched on a low branch, her wings heavy. The oak stood silent, its branches bare of her home. Her heart ached. What now? Where would she shelter? The world felt vast, unkind. The sparrow fluttered, heart heavy with loss. A monk passing by saw her. His steps slow, deliberate. "Little one," he said, "look. The tree still offers twigs. Build again." The sparrow tilted her head, confused. The storm could return. Why build only to lose again? The monk knelt, pointing to fresh twigs fallen in the grass. "Nothing lasts," he said gently. "Yet each twig is enough for now. Trust this moment." The sparrow hesitated, then pecked at a twig. Her wings lifted slightly, stirred by a quiet courage. The sparrow gathered twigs, weaving a new nest. This time, she worked not to defy the storm, but to live with its possibility. Each twig was a choice, not to cling to forever, but to embrace today. The nest took shape, simpler, yet strong enough. The oak held her again, its branches swaying gently. She chirped, not with pride, but with acceptance. The storm might come, or it might not. Either way, she could build. Her heart grew light. The act of weaving, of beginning again, was her refuge. The new nest swayed in the breeze, fragile yet enough. The sparrow curled within it, her eyes soft. She no longer feared the storm's return. Safety was not in the nest's strength, but in her willingness to rebuild. Each twig was a moment, each nest a new start. The sparrow slept, safe not in permanence, but in the act of beginning again. The oak whispered with the wind, and she rested, held by the rhythm of change, her heart at peace in the impermanent now. Anxiety often whispers that safety lies in permanence, in a nest that cannot fall. We crave unchangeable, security-stable plans, certain futures. The Buddha taught that this craving is the root of dukkha, suffering. As the Four Noble Truths reveal, like the sparrow, we mourn when our nests crumble, when life shifts beneath us. Yet clinging to what cannot last only deepens our fear. The Dharma invites us to see that safety is not in controlling change, but in moving with it, in trusting the twigs of this moment. The sparrow's lesson is anicca, nothing lasts, yet nothing is lost. Impermanence is not a threat, but a path to freedom. When we accept change, we find safety not in rigidity, but in resilience. The storm may scatter our plans, but new twigs always wait. Each moment offers a chance to begin again, to weave a new nest. This is the heart of the Dharma: to live lightly, to trust life's flow, to find peace in the impermanent dance of now. When life scatters your plans, pause, breathe. Like the sparrow, gather one twig at a time. Notice this moment, your breath, your hands, the ground beneath you. Each step is a new nest, a new moment of safety. Mindfulness builds this trust, twig by twig. When fear arises, see it, name it, let it pass. You are not your broken nests. You are the sparrow, always able to begin again. This practice, simple and steady, is your refuge, always here. Imagine your heart as a nest, rebuilding softly, twig by twig. Feel your breath. Each inhale a new strand. Each exhale a release of fear. You are held by this moment, safe in its impermanence. If this brings ease, subscribe to Zen Buddhism. Join us to weave peace, moment by moment, twig by twig. You are not alone. This is Zen Buddhism, and you are welcome here. A traveler set out on a mountain path. The air crisp, the way clear, but a thick fog rolled in. Sudden and dense, the world vanished around her. Trees, rocks, the trail all swallowed in gray. Panic rose as each step felt uncertain. Was she going up or down? Would she wander forever, lost in this endless mist? Her heart raced. Her breath quickened. Fear whispered of cliffs, of falling, of never finding home. She stopped, frozen, the fog pressing in like a heavy cloak. What now? The path was gone, hope dimming with the light. A soft glow appeared, a lantern keeper, her light steady in the haze. You look lost, she said gently. The traveler nodded, voice trembling with fear. Take this light, the keeper offered, handing a small lantern. Its flame flickered, warm and sure. You don't need to see the whole path, just the next step. The traveler hesitated. How could such a small light help? The fog was vast, unyielding, but the keeper smiled. Trust it. One step reveals the next. The fog hides much, but the light shows enough. The traveler grasped the lantern, its warmth easing her grip of fear. The traveler held the lantern, its light cutting a small circle in the fog. She took one step, then another. The ground appeared beneath her feet, solid, real. With each step, the fear softened. The path unfolded just enough, a rock here, a root there. She breathed deeper. The lantern's glow her guide. No need to rush. No need to see far. This moment, this step, was all that mattered. The fog still swirled, but it no longer blinded her. Clarity came not in seeing everything, but in trusting the light for now. The fog lifted, revealing a village below, lights twinkling like stars. The traveler smiled. knowing the lantern's light was enough to carry her home. One step at a time, she had walked through confusion, not by forcing the fog away, but by moving with it. The lantern keeper's words echoed in her heart. The path was always there, hidden but present. She arrived, weary but whole, the lantern still burning softly. Home was not just the village, but the trust she had found within. Anxiety is a fog that clouds the mind, making every step feel perilous. We lose sight of the way, gripped by confusion, by what-ifs and unknowns. The Buddha taught that this confusion arises from clinging to clarity we cannot yet have. In the Dharma, suffering blooms when we demand to see the whole path, to control the unseen. Like the traveler, we panic in the midst of thoughts, fearing we'll never find our way. Yet the fog is not forever. It is a passing veil, born of the mind's restlessness. Peace comes in accepting the haze, in walking gently through it. Mindfulness is our lantern, a soft light in the fog of anxiety. It does not banish the mist, but illuminates what is here. Now, the Satipatthana Sutta teaches us to observe the body, feelings, mind, and phenomena, shining awareness on each moment, like the traveler's light. Mindfulness reveals just enough, the breath rising, the thought passing, the sensation fading. We do not need to clear the entire fog. One mindful step, one aware breath, guides us. In this practice, confusion loses its power. The mind settles. The path appears, step by step, in the glow of presence. When anxiety clouds your mind, return to this moment. Feel your breath, your feet, this heartbeat. This is your lantern, guiding you step by step. Do not strain to see far ahead. The future is fog, but now is clear. Notice the fear as a cloud, drifting through. Let it be, without chasing or fleeing. Each return to now dissolves the haze a little more. Trust this. The path unfolds as you walk, not before. In this simplicity, fear fades. Clarity emerges from within. Breathe now, letting the fog of worry soften. Feel the light of awareness touch this moment. Gentle and sure. You are not lost. The path is here, one step at a time. If this light guides you, subscribe to Zen Buddhism. Join us to walk together through the mist, finding clarity in every breath. You are welcome here. In a quiet forest, a bird perched silently, afraid of the night. Darkness cloaked the trees, and she imagined predators lurking in every shadow. Her song, once bright, stayed locked in her throat. If she sang, would their claws find her? Her wings trembled, her heart small. Each rustle of leaves tightened her fear. The forest, vast and still, felt like a trap. She watched the stars, longing to sing, but dread held her voice. What if her song betrayed her? What if it drew danger near? Oh, silence became her shield, but it weighed heavy, stealing her joy. An old tree, its bark etched with time. Notice the bird's silence. Little one, why do you hide your voice? It whispered, its branches swaying gently. The bird confessed her fear predators. Darkness, the unknown. The tree listened, its roots deep in the earth. Sing at dawn, it said. Your song is your gift, not your danger. The light will hold you. The bird hesitated. Dawn felt far, the night endless. Yet the tree's words stirred something within her. Could her voice be her strength? She perched, waiting. As the first hint of light touched the sky, as the first light touched the leaves, the bird trembled, then sang a single note. It was faint, fragile, but it carried through the forest. The air softened. The darkness retreated. No claws came. No danger pounced. The forest stirred, alive with her courage, not her fear. Another note followed, then another. Her voice growing steadier. The dawn broke, golden and warm, and her song wove into its glow. She felt her wings lift, her heart open. The fear lingered, but it no longer ruled her. In singing, she found a spark of joy, bright as the rising sun. Each dawn, the bird sang, her voice weaving through the trees. Her notes danced with the breeze, fearless and free. Fear remained, a quiet shadow, but it no longer silenced her. She sang not to banish the night, but to greet the day. The forest answered, other birds joined. Leaves rustled in harmony. Her song became a gift, shared with the world. Joy was her song now, a melody born of courage. The night might come again, but so would the dawn. She perched lightly, her heart full, her voice a bridge between fear and freedom. Anxiety often silences our joy, convincing us to hide, to shrink from life. Like the bird, we fear our own voice, our dreams. Our hopes will draw harm. The Buddha taught that awakening includes mudita, sympathetic joy, a lightness that shines even amid uncertainty. Anxiety whispers of danger, urging us to stay small. But the Dharma calls us to live fully. Suffering arises when we let fear mute our hearts. The bird's silence was her cage, but her song set her free. Joy is not found by escaping fear, but by singing through it, embracing this moment. Joy is not the absence of fear, but the courage to live fully now. The Buddha's path invites us to notice beauty, a flower, a breath, a moment, and let it fill us. Mudita is a practice, a choice to turn toward what lifts the heart. Like the bird, we can sing at dawn, not because the night is gone, but because this moment is enough. The Noble Eightfold Path guides us to right mindfulness, right intention, ways to meet life with openness. Each small act of noticing, of choosing joy, is a note in our song, a step toward freedom. When fear whispers, look for one small joy, a warm cup, a soft breeze, a kind word. Pause, feel it fully. This practice, rooted in mindfulness, shifts the heart toward lightness. Notice the fear, but do not let it silence you. Like the bird, let one note lead to another. Smile at the warmth of the sun, the sound of your breath. These are your dawn, your song. This practice is simple, yet profound. It builds a habit of joy, a refuge against anxiety's weight. Each moment of joy is a victory, a melody of presence. Breathe now, imagining your heart singing like the bird at dawn. Feel your breath rise, fall, a soft note of life. Picture a light within you, growing with each inhale. Let fear drift. Let joy hum. You are here, alive, singing. If this joy lifts you, subscribe to Zen Buddhism. Join us to weave more moments of light, to sing through the dawn together. You are welcome here. A weaver dreamed of crafting a perfect cloth, flawless and fine. She worked at her loom from dawn to dusk, threading each strand with care. Yet every cloth had a flaw, a snag, a loose thread, a slight unevenness. Each imperfection tightened her chest, her hands trembling with worry. What if the cloth was rejected? What if her skill was not enough? She unraveled and rewove, chasing an ideal that slipped further with each try. Her dream, once a joy, became a weight. The loom creaked under her tension, and sleep eluded her. Her mind tangled in threads of doubt. A teacher paused at her loom, his eyes tracing the cloth. "Why do you frown?" he asked. The weaver sighed, pointing to a crooked thread. "It's not perfect," she said. The teacher smiled. "These threads," he said, are not flaws. They tell the story of your hands. She blinked, confused. He touched the cloth gently. Each snag is a moment of effort, a mark of life. Perfection hides the weaver. This cloth shows you. His words settled softly, stirring her to look again at her work. The weaver looked again. The snags formed patterns, alive with effort. The loose threads caught the light, weaving a subtle dance of color. It was not flawless, but it was hers unique, human, real. Her heart softened, seeing not failure, but a story woven with care. The cloth bore her patience, her struggle, her care. It was beautiful, not despite its imperfections, but because of them. She breathed deeply, the weight of perfection lifting. The loom no longer felt like a judge, but a partner in creation. The weaver returned to her loom, her hands steady. She wove without chasing an impossible ideal. Each thread, perfect or not, found its place. The cloth grew, uneven yet whole, a testament to her presence. She smiled as she worked, her heart light. The cloth was not perfect, but it was hers. And in that, she found peace. The loom hummed softly, its rhythm a song of acceptance. She slept soundly that night, her dreams no longer tangled, but flowing like threads in a gentle breeze. Anxiety often ties us to expectations of perfection, a need for flawless outcomes. We weave stories of how things should be perfect work, perfect lives, perfect selves. The Buddha taught that clinging to ideals, Tanya, weaves a web of suffering around our hearts. This is the second noble truth. Like the weaver, we fear our flaws will define us. That imperfection means failure. Yet these expectations are threads of illusion, pulling us from the present. The Dharma invites us to see clearly, to let go of the need for a perfect cloth. The teaching of anatta, non-self, reminds us we are not our creations. The weaver's cloth was not her worth. Just as our work, our roles, are not us. Imperfections are not failures, but threads in the tapestry of being human. Anatta frees us from the myth of a perfect self. Each snag, each mistake, is a mark of life, not a flaw to erase. By embracing imperfection, we loosen the grip of anxiety. We weave not to prove, but to live, to be present with each thread as it comes. When you feel the weight of should, pause. Ask, is this true? Notice the expectation, a tight thought, a heavy feeling. Let it be, without weaving it tighter. Mindfulness, as taught in the Satipatthana Sutta, untangles the threads of judgment. See the thought. Name it gently. Expectation. Worry. Doubt. Let it pass. Like a thread slipping through your fingers. This practice softens the heart, frees the hands to weave with ease. Each moment of release is a new beginning, a cloth woven with kindness. Breathe now, letting go of one should with each exhale. Feel your breath. Soft, steady, like a thread finding its place. Picture your heart as a loom, weaving this moment, imperfect and whole. You are enough, just as you are. If this frees you, subscribe to Zen Buddhism. Join us to weave peace together, thread by thread, moment by moment. You are welcome here. A seeker knelt by a pond, waiting for the moon's reflection. The night was clear, the moon full, but the water rippled with every breeze. Each wave blurred the image, and his heart grew restless, longing for clarity. He stirred the surface, hoping to still it, but the ripples only multiplied. Why could the reflection not be perfect? His mind churned, anxious for a flawless vision. The pond, once a place of quiet, became a mirror of his unease. He sat, tense, watching the fractured light. The moon should be whole. He thought, why was it so hard to see? A sage approached, her steps soft as moonlight. Why do you wait? She asked, her voice calm. The seeker pointed to the pond, its surface dancing with ripples. The reflection is broken, he said. The sage smiled. The moon is there, whole, whether the water ripples or stills. Look beyond the surface. The seeker frowned, uncertain. But the ripples hide it, he said. The sage shook her head. The moon does not depend on the water. Look up. See what is. Her words were gentle, an invitation to shift his gaze. The seeker looked up. The moon hung bright, untouched by ripples, steady in the vast sky. It was whole, complete. Its light soft but unwavering. The pond's waves could not change it. His breath slowed. His heart quieted, seeing what was always there. The ripples were just movement, not the truth. The moon shone, not because the water was still, but because it simply was. He felt a warmth spread within, a release of striving. The pond's dance no longer troubled him. The moon was enough. Its presence, a quiet anchor in the night. The seeker smiled. The pond's ripples no longer a disturbance. He sat by the water, watching its waves with new eyes. They were not flaws, but part of the moment, fleeting and alive. He rested, knowing the truth was not in perfection, but in what simply is. The moon's light bathed the pond, the trees, his heart. He no longer chased the still reflection. The reality of the moon, unchanging, held him. He lay back, the night soft around him, his mind at peace, carried by the truth of what was. Anxiety often chases reflections, perfect moments, perfect selves, perfect outcomes. We long for a life without ripples, a mind without waves. The Buddha taught that suffering comes from grasping at these ripples, not the moon itself. This is the truth of dukkha, rooted in tanha, craving. Like the seeker, we fixate on fleeting images, believing they define us. Yet the Dharma points to reality beyond the surface. The ripples of thought, of worry, are not the whole, our true nature. Like the moon, remain steady, untouched by the mind's restless waves. Anatta teaches us we are not the ripples of thought, not the stories we weave. Anicca reminds us they pass, like waves on a pond. The moon, our true nature, remains steady and whole. The teaching of non-self frees us from chasing a perfect reflection, from tying our worth to fleeting forms. Impermanence is not loss, but flow. The ripples come and go, but the moon does not waver. When we see this, anxiety softens. We rest in what is, not what we wish to be. The truth is here, in this moment, complete. When anxiety stirs, return to what is your breath. This moment, this body. The Satipatthana Sutta guides us to see reality clearly, to observe the mind without grasping its waves. Notice a thought, a feeling, a ripple. Name it gently: worry, hope, fear. Let it move. Let it pass. You are not the pond's surface, but the moon's light, ever present. This practice of mindfulness anchors us in the real, not the ideal. Each return to now is a resting place, a refuge where clarity lives. Breathe now, seeing the moon in your heart, steady and whole. Let each exhale release a ripple. Each inhale bring you home. Feel this moment, complete as it is. You are enough, not because you are perfect, but because you are here. If this peace holds you, subscribe to Zen Buddhism. Join us to rest in what is, to find the moon's light in every moment. You are welcome here. Conclusion: resting in love and wisdom. So now, dear listener, we have arrived at the gentle shore of this journey. We have walked together through the teachings, seeing anxiety as dukkha, a fleeting shadow of suffering, not to be feared, but to be met with presence. We have contemplated impermanence, how all things arise and pass like waves on the ocean. We have learned not to take thoughts personally, to release their grip with kindness. Through self-compassion, we have softened our hearts. By letting go, we have found freedom in the moment. This path, simple yet profound, invites us to rest in awareness. Picture your mind as a vast, open sky. Thoughts, like clouds, drift through, sometimes heavy, sometimes light. They pass, always, without clinging to the sky. Anxiety, too, is a visitor, not your essence. Like a river, emotions flow, ever-changing, never fixed. See your heart as a clear mirror, reflecting all without judgment, without holding on. Befriend this moment, this breath. You are not your worries. They rise. They change. They fall away. In this spacious awareness, you are already whole, already at peace. These teachings are seeds planted gently in your heart. Trust them to grow in their own time. Each moment of mindfulness, each pause to breathe, waters these seeds of wisdom. You have practiced dropping judgment, not by force, but with compassion. You have seen how clinging creates suffering, how letting go brings ease. Again and again, you return to the present, this sacred now, where peace resides. This is not a destination, but a practice, a quiet returning to the stillness within you. Now, as these words settle, let us enter the final practice together. Bring your attention to the crown of your head. Soften there. Let tension melt, like snow under a warm sun. Move to your forehead, your eyes, your jaw. Release gently. Feel your shoulders soften, your chest open. With each inhale, invite kindness into your body. With each exhale, let worry slip away, like leaves on a stream. Imagine a warm, golden light spreading from your heart, filling you with calm. Rest here, in this tender embrace of peace. May your night be tender. May your rest be deep. May you awaken with a heart light and free. These teachings are a lantern, guiding you back to yourself. If they have touched your heart, know that the journey continues. Subscribe to Zen Buddhism, where we walk this path together, moment by moment. You are not alone. This is Zen Buddhism, and you are welcome here.